my name is Shasha.
Hi, I'm Amali.
Hi, my name is Ainun.
And we are from Route 15.
Honestly, we never thought about chemical terrorism before, but after seeing how toxic gases can harm people, it made us realize how important emergency training is.
As we can see here, we live in a world where chemicals help us in many ways. There is in our factories, water treatment plants, and even everyday household products. But if these chemicals don't properly secure, they can become dangerous too in the hand of those who want to cause harm. That's where chemical security comes in, making sure these substances don't end up in their hands. If they do, they can be turned into weapons of terror. Chemical terrorism is the intentional, harmful use of toxic chemicals, substances that can poison, burn, or injure people. This chemical terrorism is to cause fear, disruption, and suffering in society. Examples of chemicals that could be misused include industrial chemicals, agricultural pesticides, or even specially manufactured agents like nerve gases. When released in crowded places such as train stations, airports, or shopping malls, the effect can be devastating. That's why countries like Indonesia are stepping up their efforts by improving security around chemicals, training emergency response teams, and educating the public. They aim to reduce the risk and help to protect the community.
Since 2011, at least 8 chemical terrorism incidents have taken place in Indonesia. While there haven't been any successful large-scale chemical terrorism attacks in Indonesia, there have been instances where terrorist groups have attempted to acquire or use chemical weapons. However, authorities have prevented these attempts successfully. Terrorist groups operating internationally, including Al-Qaeda and Daesh, have used chemical weapons in Iraq and Syria. Other than that, in 1995, the toxic chemical compound sarin was used in the Tokyo subway in Japan by members of the Aum Shinrikyo movement, killing 15 people immediately and injuring over 1,000 more. Furthermore, Indonesia also concerned on dual-use chemicals, as some harmful chemicals are used in legitimate industries such as mining, agriculture, and pharmaceuticals. These chemicals might be used by the terrorists. Chlorine, for example, a commonly used in water treatment facilities, can also produce a chemical weapon. Moreover, thiodicglycol that are used in pen ink are also a precursor to mustard agents, which has a deadly effects. Indonesia sees these situations as a chemical threats that need to be prevented at any cost. That's why Indonesia had done a simulation on chemical terrorism as an early preparation.
There are several prevention measures that Indonesia is working on. First, simulation exercise. The national simulation held on 18 March 2024 in Semarang was designed to test how prepared Indonesia is to respond to chemical terrorism. By practicing responses before an actual attack, Indonesia can prevent chaos or failure if a real incident happens. Second, multi-agency collaboration. The simulation involved law enforcement, public health and safety officers, and custom and border protection officers. When different agencies train together, it improves coordination. This helps prevent a chemical attack from spreading due to slow or confused response. Third, standard operating procedures, SOPs. The simulation tested each agency's SOPs for responding to chemical threats. If agency already have clear practice SOP, they can act fast to stop or limit an attack, which prevents more serious harm. Fourth, technical support from UNOD. The simulation was done with the support of the UNODC Global Programme on Preventing and Countering Terrorism. By using international standards and expert guidance, Indonesia is preventing weakness in its national response system. Fifth, focus on entry points. Customs and border officers took part in the drill to strengthen security at entry points. By training them to detect chemical threats, Indonesia can prevent hazardous materials from entering the country.